Hello lads, lassies, and those of unspecified gender, it's the Irishman here, and today I'm going to be talking about what would have happened if Goku had been addicted to Senzu beans. This is the long-awaited fifth part to this what if, and I hope you enjoy. If you haven't seen the other four, they will be linked in the description below for you to watch before coming back to this video. And now, without further ado, let's get into the story of this what if. Where last we left off, a newly empowered Golden Cell had been fighting against a Super Saiyan 5 Goku. This might sound absurd, and that's because it is. This what if is kind of a joke what if, and I've chosen to take certain liberties with it to make it more entertaining. And so, after the two of these astronomical powers clashed with each other, they nearly destroyed the universe. In fact, they pretty much did. The only things actually remaining were Beerus and Whis. Whis was about to rewind time before asking Beerus if it was okay to do so. Or more so, Whis noted how cool it was that the universe was just kind of gone, and Beerus demanded that he rewind time, that way his universe isn't just deleted, because for a god of destruction, that probably isn't a very good thing to have happen. At least when you're not the one doing it. And then Whis would revert everything back to how it was 3 seconds before the universe had been destroyed. Beerus would request that the two of them then go to the planet where these two beings were fighting. And then Whis would do so, taking them there in an instant. And then they would see Goku and Cell fighting each other, about to do their ultimate clash that would cause the universe to be completely gone. Poof. Nothing. Beerus would then step in the way, stopping the two of them by using both of his hands. Now, I don't think it'd be a super casual act. I do think Beerus would have to use a decent amount of his power, but it's not like he's going all out. Golden Cell and Super Saiyan 5 Goku are of course very powerful, but more so in their own right. They don't really compare to the gods and other deities, or at least not yet. Cell would be absolutely dumbstruck. How is somebody able to so easily stop the two of them? As far as Cell knew, Goku and himself were the two strongest beings in the universe. How is this purple cat guy able to just step in the way and stop them after they had powered up their most powerful attacks? Goku, on the other hand, doesn't really care, but does want to be able to fight this guy. He seems plenty strong. After both of the Kamehameha waves had dissipated after coming in contact with Beerus' hands, he would introduce himself. He is the god of destruction. These two mortals were about to destroy the entire universe, which is more so Beerus' job than anything. It's not like Beerus is mad about this, he kind of just wants to see who they are as well as get a chance to fight them. And Goku, well, he's very ready to do this. Cell, on the other hand, he's a bit reluctant. Cell is questioning everything he knows about himself as well as the universe. Cell was the perfect being. He was born closer to perfection than his original self and much earlier on, but he was still far from perfection. The reason that Cell was born much earlier as well as somewhat perfect is because Dr. Gero had studied Senzu beans, something that Goku had been using to become much more powerful, and decided to add that to Cell's biology. Cell would then, after escaping from his pod, then go and absorb 17 and 18, becoming truly perfect. But Cell still felt less than. He felt like Goku was still somehow stronger than him, which wasn't something that made Cell upset or enraged, but rather excited. Cell would kill Dr. Gero, realizing that the perfect being should not be looked down upon, and then Cell would get a bit lonely, and want to create some friends. He would find the blueprints for Android 13, and then be able to build him up from scratch. Android 16, on the other hand, well, he was a bit different. Android 16 was close to full production. He was nearly perfect, but just wasn't there yet. Well, perfect in his own way. Of course, Cell was the perfect being, but I think you understand what I'm saying. Cell would decide to complete Android 16, make him truly perfect in his own way, and then Cell would have two friends we would train with and fight with and spar with and just hang out with overall. And then the time would come where Cell could create his own tournament, have some more friends, have some more sparring partners, gain actual bonds with people he didn't have to create. Now, of course, Android 13 and 16 had their own free will, but it just felt odd. Cell wanted somebody that was born by somebody else, somebody that didn't feel as close as family, but more a friend. And so, Cell would create the World Martial Arts Tournament that he would hold on a different planet. He was taking the Tenkaichi Budokai Strongest Under the Heavens tournament, and then holding it on a different planet, so it's kind of like his own thing. At first, Cell was having a lot of fun with this. He had friends, he was fighting with people, he was sparring, he was having his Saiyan blood pump, but then Goku was actually somehow stronger than him. Super Saiyan 4 proved even stronger than what should have been Cell's perfection, and although this did worry Cell, well, it also got him pumped up. He was ready, he was excited, and so Cell unveiled his golden form, something he had created to prove his perfection. And then, Goku had Super Saiyan 5. This was also somewhat worrying, but at the same time, Cell was eager to test his might. And then, after all of this, the two were proven to be equals. And Cell thought that this was how destiny was meant to unfold. And then Beerus showed up and was just kind of like a lot stronger than the two of them combined. Cell doesn't know how to feel right now. Nevertheless, Beerus and Goku would still spar. Goku in his Super Saiyan 5 form and Beerus using some odd amount of his power. Beerus is very impressed. I would probably place this version of Super Saiyan 5 Goku around somewhere in the Super Saiyan Blue tier of strength. Somewhere between Resurrection F and the Universe 6 tournament. Beerus didn't expect someone this strong, but at the same time, it doesn't really compare to his own strength. And so Beerus, although impressed, wants something more. And so Goku would demonstrate something that he was hoping he could save for Cell, assuming he had another form. But now, seeing Beerus having this incredible amount of power, Goku would show off that he can actually put Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan 5. This would absolutely crush Cell's spirits, but raise Beerus's quite a bit. Goku is proving to be very effective using Kaioken, seeing as it's a body-destroying technique, and Goku, well, he had probably mastered Kaioken to this point where even higher levels don't hurt him as much, but he also has Senzu beans, which would completely rejuvenate his body. And so, Goku in Kaioken times 50 Super Saiyan 5 is actually giving Beerus a somewhat challenge. It's very impressive, and Beerus is having the time of his life. Although, this still isn't anything compared to Beerus's true power, and so he would tell Goku he's impressed, and they could train another time. Goku might actually be able to reach his level sometime, push him beyond his limits, but Goku would say he has another idea. He might be able to push Beerus to his absolute limit right here, today. Beerus is confused. Does Goku have some other form? Cell is praying to the gods that he doesn't because his heart just can't take that. But Goku would say no. As far as Goku knows, the highest he can achieve on his own at this moment is Kaioken times 50 Super Saiyan 5, which is of course incredibly powerful, but he has another idea. If Goku and Vegeta here were to fuse, using the Potara fusion or Metamoran fusion, whichever I decide, I haven't really come up with a concrete reason for either, then Goku and Vegeta together would be able to push Beerus to new heights. Cell would be a bit confused and would ask, why Vegeta? Vegeta is one of the weaker people here. Well, not weaker by any means, but it doesn't compare to Beerus or even Cell. Super Saiyan God Vegeta is barely even up to perfect Cell level. How is he going to contend with Beerus? But Goku would say, no, that's not why. In terms of raw power, Vegeta is strong, but not strong enough, yes. But God Ki is something very, very incredible. If you were to mix Super Saiyan 5 with God Ki, you get an almost unstoppable force. And after Goku explains this, Beerus is shocked. They have a God Ki user? And more so than that, Goku doesn't have God Ki. This is just beginning to click with Beerus. Goku does not have access to any sort of godly powers, but will still have to give Beerus a somewhat decent run for his money. Everyone there is shocked, but Goku would say that he actually has thought of a way to fuse. Well, not thought, but while he was training with King Kai, Goku learned all sorts of techniques, the Kaioken, the Spirit Bomb, and he heard of Metamoran fusion. Now, he didn't study it, but he did hear about it, and yes, I am coming with this up on the fly. And I don't write scripts, all of this is completely unscripted, so have fun with that. So Goku would explain that the Metamoran fusion is something he heard about from King Kai. If he was able to learn how to do that, then Goku and Vegeta together, while fused, having this Super Saiyan God 5 form, well, they would be unstoppable. And Whis, shocked, would say, yeah, they could do that. He actually noted about the Metamoran fusion and could probably teach them, using his staff to project images of the poses and how they're supposed to do it. And so, the fusion would begin, or at least the practice for it. After a few minutes, Beerus would realize that this is going to take a while, and he doesn't want to have to wait that long. He would rather just have them do it another time, or maybe practice it while Beerus goes and gets some food. He's groggy and wants something to eat. But then Goku would say that he actually has a different idea. As long as Whis can tag along, then Goku and Vegeta could go into the Room of Spirit in Time, something they have on Earth that manipulates time. That way, instead of having it be 1 day equals 1 day, it's instead 1 day on the outside equals 1 year on the inside. Having this explanation been given to Beerus, he is a bit wary of time manipulation, he doesn't really like it, but at the same time, this does kind of just sound like a very efficient way to get what he wants a lot sooner than, well, how long it would actually take, and so Beerus would agree. Then Whis, Goku, and Vegeta would then teleport down to Earth to Kami's lookout, and then they would enter the Room of Spirit in Time. It would take a while, but they would be able to get the dance down, and so they would try and fuse, but it wouldn't work. A problem would arise in the fact that their powers are not equal, and if they were to try to fuse in base after getting their base forms to be equal, who's to say they'd be able to transform into a Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan 5, which is a bit of a mouthful, and don't worry, I already have a name for the transformation already worked up, I just don't want to use it yet. And so Goku and Vegeta would continue training with each other until they would reach a midway point. Vegeta would unlock Super Saiyan Blue, and Goku would be able to train his base up enough in Ki control, that way in Super Saiyan 5, he could lower his power to a somewhat even point with Vegeta, and then the two would fuse into Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan 5, or True Super Saiyan God. Okay, I get that name isn't as cool as I might think it is, but I think it's pretty cool. But even though they were able to access this amazing power, they can't use it for that long while staying fused, and so they would have to find a way to perfect the fusion, allow them to use their maximum power output without having the fusion be drained of time very quickly. And after a few weeks, they are able to perfect the fusion. That way, they are able to go for their full 30 minutes without having the fusion disband when using their maximum power output. And then Goku and Vegeta would leave the room with Whis. Beerus would fly up to the lookout, having tried all sorts of earthly cuisines, and would be prepared to fight. Goku and Vegeta would look at each other with a smug grin before performing the fusion dance, turning into Gogeta.
So Beerus, you're looking for a fight. Alright, we'll prepare to meet the true might of a Super Saiyan God!